Metroid fans, we finally got the day we've been begging for. And honestly, what we learned about Metroid Prime 4 is exciting, it's confusing, and it's a little bit concerning all at the same time because it's been nearly a decade, guys. So, after a near decade of silence, delays, a full reboot, remember when they just canceled it and scrapped it and started it back up from scratch? And then for some reason Nintendo decided to give Kirby Air Riders like more screen time than Samus has had in like a decade. We finally have real previews coming out, real gameplay, real details. Finally, the hype for this game is real, but hidden behind the hype, guys, there's a few things Nintendo didn't say out loud that could make or break Metroid Prime 4 depending on how the hardcore fans react. So today I want to talk about what was actually shown, what preview outlets are hinting at in regards to this game, and why some design decisions feel kind of off. More importantly, though, I'm going to explain why it matters for the future of Metroid. So if you're not subscribed yet, make sure you hit that subscription button and let's get right here, guys. So the hype is real, like I said, but the wait is what made this weird, guys. Let's start with the obvious. Metroid Prime 4 is still at its core a classic. It's a classic Metroid Prime game. Exploration, isolation, scanning, using your little scanner around, atmospheric storytelling. The DNA that made Metroid Prime is untouched when it comes to this. And visually, the Switch 2 upgrade is doing a lot of heavy lifting. It's pushing the Switch 2 to its limits. You got 4K 60, cleaner textures, sharper lighting. There's motion controls that work a lot better than the Switch OG, and it all looks legitimately great for a project that started life almost a decade ago as a Switch OG title. This is wild. And for some reason, we're still getting Metroid Prime 4 before GTA 6. So, I don't know. But that's exactly where the big question is in regards to this. Is this new Metroid Prime 4 a brand new game, or is it just a polished game from 2017 finally escaping development hell? Because, my God, was this a development hell game? Because right now, it kind of feels like both when you're looking at it. So, let's talk about some of the new stuff and whether it's cool ideas or forced gimmicks here. Nintendo showed two major additions. We have the bike, right? A lot of people have been joking around saying it looks like something from the Breath of the Wild expansion because they even had a bike on that game. What's up with Nintendo and bikes? Pokemon Legends Arceus had a Pokemon that literally was like a bike as well, or was that Violet, Scarlet? I don't know. I'm not into the weeb stuff, but traversal in Metroid Prime 4 seems faster, but it's also empty. The early footage that they showed looks like they dropped um, a motorcycle from some kind of other game, like a Breath of the Wild or something like that, into a desert and said, okay, cool, there we go. That's going to be what teleports you in this desert. Maybe there's later areas that we haven't seen in this game that are going to spice things up, but right now it feels like it's, I don't know. It just feels uninspired. And I was hoping to see more from the actual gameplay, but I guess they're not wanting to spoil too much, guys. And then there's these psychic abilities. These powers let Samus manipulate time, guide projectiles, solve puzzles, open combat options. It's literally almost kind of like something from Breath of the Wild, right? That's what it seems like with all those powers and stuff, which this stuff could actually be good for the series, like a good evolution, like something different, something new to break up the monotony. If it goes beyond gimmicks and becomes actual part of the core combat, like mechanics and stuff, I think it could be good. It could be a refreshing thing. But then Nintendo's got a Nintendo, right? They got to add something that makes you start to be like, okay, god damn it, they couldn't just not be Nintendo, right? One of the biggest red flags from the preview is the companion system. Not a ship AI, not a temporary character, a constant companion that will give you obvious hints, that tells you when to save, pushes you towards solutions. It basically assumes that you're stupid. You're stupider than Jupiter, right? I don't know. I guess it's like Zelda. Again, where you have like Navi and a little companion assistant at most times. So, the Navi used to be like the listen, hey, right? I think that goes against what made Metroid Prime a great game. What made Metroid Prime a classic in the first place, guys. When I think of Metroid, I think of isolation. I think of mystery. I think of discovery. I think of problem solving. I think of, hey, where the fuck am I on this map? Because I'm fucking lost, right? Prime wasn't supposed to hold your hand at all. It wasn't supposed to babysit you. I would even venture to say Metroid, just in general, is not meant to babysit you. If this companion system is the future of Metroid, that's a pretty drastic change of the franchise's identity. Like, that's something brand new. And okay, there's always a chance Nintendo might dial it back, but as of right now, it sounds like Metroid's version of the yellow paint. You always see games now, they point you in the right direction with walls and cliffs that have yellow paint. This is their version of the yellow paint problem, guys, where they're just over explaining things, and then the whole point of it being Metroid essentially disappears. You're supposed to be lost and clueless in Metroid, and to an extent in Zelda as well. Now, don't get me wrong. I know there's going to be somebody in the comments, probably somebody with an anime avatar, some kind of cringe username. You're just complaining to complain, you grifter. It's Metroid. I know people are angry. They're crying. Aren't you 40? Look, Metroid Prime 4 looks good. All right, it looks really good. I'm going to sink my teeth into it, but Metroid has been doing what all Nintendo franchises do. They basically use the same core formula for years. Metroid's a 40-year-old franchise. It's the same formula. Like, if you play a Metroid game, your ship crashes, you lose all your upgrades, and then you work to reclaim your abilities as you progress through the map. Then you beat the big boss. Biggity boom, no more shit stains in your underwear, guys. So Prime 4, of course, is going to continue that cycle again. And there's going to be old school hardcore Metroid fans that like that. But comfort food, yeah, while it is still food, like people say, that's the old adage. RGT brought some of these points up in his video. It's still food, right? People like familiarity. People like stuff. They don't like change. But I was hoping, after waiting almost a decade, being in development hell, being restarted from scratch, that it would be a little bit more oomph behind it, right? Little je ne sais quoi, something, some a little bit more that I could sink the fucking teeth into, right? Like, again, I hate to go back to Breath of the Wild, but like a Zelda moment for the series that would be a bigger leap in world design, something that would have more ambition, right? Some brass marbles, some ruthless aggression. I want some fresh gameplay, things like that. I want something meaningful, robust, urban garlic flavor content. And right now, Prime 4 looks amazing, but it's fallen into that trap that a lot of Nintendo games do. And you know what that is? It's playing it safe. Maybe that's by design. I don't know. But it also explains why Metroid still doesn't sell as well as other Nintendo franchises like Mario, Zelda, Kirby, even Donkey Kong, all those. Even if they do play it safe, even if they do have the same gameplay formula and mechanics, every once in a while they at least add some kind of quirk or gimmick. I mean, look at like Mario Odyssey, and look at like the 2D Marios, and look at Donkey Kong Bonanza, and look at Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and they're always adding something. And then Kirby, like every single Kirby game has some kind of cute little gimmick on it. But Metroid, come on. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. So why should we care, guys? Because I know, again, that same person with the anime weeb avatar. Why should I care? Well, because Metroid Prime 4 is going to decide the future of the Metroid franchise. Do you want to wait another decade plus for another Metroid game, you fucking moron? If it hits big, Nintendo finally has a reason to give Samus bigger and better things, bigger budgets, faster releases, more experimental projects, some spin-offs that aren't Metroid Prime Federation Force. But if it doesn't, we're going to be going right back to decade-long gaps, rebooted projects in the middle of development, Metroid being that franchise that Nintendo likes but doesn't fully invest in. You got to give them some incentive, guys. You got to foreplay them a little bit. Buy the game, support it. right? Prime 4 might not just be a game at this point though. It's a turning point literally for the next decade of Metroid. Okay? If this game bombs, if it sucks, if it played it too safe and it doesn't capture attention, you can kiss this franchise goodbye for a while, like Star Fox and F Zero at this point. So here's my final thoughts. I'm excited. I'm hyped. I'm hot. I'm hot, as PWR World would say, but I'm also cautious, okay? Metroid Prime 4, it feels like a mix of brilliant ideas. It really does, but there's a lot of questionable ideas, choices in here, a whole lot of, I hope they don't mess this up feeling coming from me right now. But I want to know what you guys think. What is in your brain? The person that's probably sitting on the toilet watching this right now, I need to know what you think. Are you impressed with what we've seen so far with Metroid Prime 4? Do the companion and formula concerns bother you? Are they any kind of thing that you're like worried about? Or you just want this goddamn game out already? Is this the Prime revival that we've waited almost 10 years for? Drop your thoughts in the comments down below. Metroid fans, you deserve this conversation. So speak up, say something, see something. And if you're new here, like I said, make sure you hit that subscription. I'm grinding to 100,000 subscribers. Do I look like a guy that needs a play button? I think I do. I want to have it over there, all right? So hit that subscription button. Smash that like if you enjoyed this video. If you didn't, fuck off. Hit that dislike as well. Haters are welcome. And I'll see you on the next one. See you next time. Peace the fuck out.